if you have inflations, what do you really do? You want tangibles or intangibles? I know with the intangibles, a lot of people say perception is reality. Well, a tangible asset like real estate, cash, equipment has many benefits over what is the opposite, which are the intangibles, which is what a lot of people bet on. We put together a pool over the past 6-8 months. I went and looked at a bunch of houses. This pool consists of total acquisition after fix-up and everything would be roughly $250,000. Our average acquisition price is about $35,000. Again, that's after fees and fix-up. Average sales price is going to be about $58,000 conservatively. Average profit about $22,000 a house. It's about a 38% profit. The prices on the houses you can see in this chart. We have our purchase prices, then we have what the auditor recommends. There's also an online appraisal thing called Zillow, what they recommend. And then we go through a couple other approaches, the income approach and the cost approach. And you'd see what they would be paying. And if you look at the summary down there, we're like $250, and it could be upwards of $650,000 if you. We built a site called Lots of Opportunity. And you can go to the site and you can actually view the individual houses. A lot of them have YouTube videos, demographics. You'll see a breakdown using all the different approaches. It's a pretty nice site. It does a real nice analysis, and a lot of people are surprised, especially when they do the videos. They think at these prices that these houses are going to be trash. And they're usually pleasantly surprised, to put it mildly, when they look at the videos and see what you can really get for the money if you're at the right place at the right time. Value. How do people really apply values to different things? In the real estate business, the traditional methods of evaluation or appraisal are the cost approach, the income approach, and the comparative analysis approach. The cost approach is based on the theory of what would it cost to reproduce a building or whatever. What would it cost plus the land value? And then you would figure in depreciation since it's not a brand new property. In our evaluations, we put the cost approach would be about $70 a square foot, which is really very low. We add the land value from the auditor site, and that's how we come up with our cost approach. The cost approach, again, would be $70 a square foot. To reconstruct this portfolio using that approach would be about $655,000. You can see the acquisition cost of $250 is roughly 38% of what the cost approach would come up with. Equity from the cost approach would be over $400,000, about 62%. The income approach. The income approach is really based on what somebody would pay to get a targeted income stream, or what they would call a cap rate. So the income approach is if you're investing in a CD and you want, $100 a month, how much would you have to put into that CD to generate that income? The cost approach that we came up with was based on a 10% cap rate. So what would somebody invest to get the income stream that this would produce? And in our income approach, at 10% would be about $308,000. Again, the acquisition's $250,000. So the equity in using the income approach would roughly be $58,000. Keep in mind, this is the running cap rate. There are, as houses sell, and hopefully you get bigger profits, but this is just based on the income from the property. The income approach, what's kind of interesting, if somebody were to want, say, 6% is what they're targeted, what they consider a good rate, at 6%, somebody would pay about over $500,000, about $514,000 for the same income. So as the interest rate, what people expect goes down, the income approach actually goes up. Like in this instance, it would be 250. You have about 264,000 of equity, so you're under half. To kind of show something here, I went to a site called Zilpie, which does like rental comparisons. You put in an address and it gives you comparables in the area, what the market rents would be. And you can see here our rents are considerably lower than what they recommend. We just feel there's no reason to get greedy, leave a little bit on the table so that you're better than the marketplace. For instance, the first house here is 760 they recommend, and ours is we get 553, including tax insurance. Their portfolio they recommended on this thing would be about $5,625, and we're at $3,406. So we're not getting greedy, leaving stuff on the table, and charging very, very competitive payments. The comparative analysis approach is, that's what most people use. And it's what you're probably familiar with. It's called comps. It's what would a property in that area sell for, and you compare it to other houses in the area, and you make adjustments based on garages and things like that. But it's called the comparative analysis approach. You can actually get in comps. You could hire an appraiser to go out and do that, which is costly, and those things can be all over the board. So we just went to the auditor site. And auditors, quite frankly, is usually kind of high, but at least it's a benchmark that we can go off of. On the auditor's value on all these 7 properties is $538,000. Again, it leaves equity of roughly $288,000 according to the auditor, so we're about 46% of that. Zillow is an interesting site. It's an online kind of appraisal site. You put in properties, and quite frankly, it's ordinarily a little bit higher also. But again, it's a benchmark. It's not us telling you something without going to get an appraisal. We felt that it was important to give at least somebody else's opinion. So acquisition, 250, we're about 47%, similar to the auditor. And then we have our conservative price opinion. This is what we think, without trying to get top dollar, again, leaving enough on the table. We think the portfolio is about $413,000 is a conservative number. So $250,000, that would generate equity of about $163,000. And then actually, so you have like 416, you might get $1,000 down payment from everybody, hopefully more. So we just kind of went back to what would the sales price be, 413. The pool after down payments basically be about $406,000 of value. I mean, basically the whole value summary, using all our approaches, it should be applied to everything. I mean, the comparative analysis, what would it cost to build, even intangibles. Our industry concentrates on the comps, but it's really important to look at everything. If you can build it for less than what you can buy it for, it should throw up a red flag and things like that.